How you feel, brother? You feel good? There's so much more to go.
I love the thought of all of them being together. It feels, I don't know the word for it, so magical. Magical, yes, that is it. Magical. That is the word I would use to describe that time between December 24th and December 31st when I was a child. That week was so special in our family, particularly on December 31st because it was my grandmother's birthday. And it was Granny's personal national holiday. And what it meant was that my mother, her 5 sisters, and her brother would all gather together with all of their children and sometimes other extended family to celebrate Granny with her favorite, made from scratch, super moist, delicious German chocolate cake. If you were late, you could not get a slice. You could do whatever you wanted to do on New Year's Eve afterwards, but you better be there for Granny's celebration. And then the week would start off with December 24th, Christmas Eve. It was the best. We would stay up and wrap all these gifts. And I was a little sneaky because I would peel back just a little bit so I could see if maybe the next day I was going to get that thing I really, really, really wanted. And on Christmas Day, we'd go to Auntie Rosie's house. Auntie Rosie's house was known as the Dewdrop Inn because that's what people did. They dropped in all week long, hoping to get a taste of my grandmother's yeast rolls, Auntie Grace's collard greens, Auntie Renee's lasagna, the sweet potato pie, and that thing that the kids didn't quite know what it was, called it the butternut six cake. Better than sex. Better than sex cake. We didn't know why they called it that. We had no clue until we got a little older. But anyway, it was just an amazing time. My aunt's house, I lived in an apartment building. My aunt lived in this house that had rooms that seemed to have rooms that seemed to have rooms. We would get 20 to 40 people on Christmas Day with the extended family. She had this white flock tree with sapphire blue bulbs on it. I had never seen anything like that. And every year, year after year, that tree had to be put up for Christmas. We would have any wayward soul. It would be in-laws, ex-husbands, ex-wives, children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, just everybody coming together to share a meal, adults with hours and hours of storytelling, a lot of laughing, and sometimes some pina coladas. And the kids just running through the house playing with the new toys that we just got that we were probably going to break anyway, but we had a blast. Well, this one year, my Auntie Rosie, who was a teacher, by the way, and not just any teacher, a reading specialist. She could turn anything into a lesson. She was that teacher that everybody loved. She was the teacher that kids would return years later and introduce her to their children. She would tutor kids on the weekends. She would tutor kids after school. She would always be passed out during the week because she just put so much energy into it. Well, she brought that same energy into planning the holidays for us. So this one year, she decided that we were going to do something different. Kwanzaa. But we got to do both Christmas and Kwanzaa. So I was like, yeah, I'm down. As she was wont to do, she turned this also into a lesson. We learned about the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. We learned the meaning of every single day. We learned the proper greeting. We learned the proper ceremony. We poured libation for our ancestors and invited them into the space. We had to each take a turn reading. And when we finished the ceremony, we closed it out with the traditional harambes. It was 7 of them. It was something like grabbing the air and punching. Harambe, harambe, harambe! And then it was time to eat again. And if the food had run out, somebody had to go buy some fried chicken. So it was also decided this year that in honor of Kwanzaa, we would celebrate the 6th day, the principle of which was kuumba, by having a family talent show. But before we could do that, you had to practice the greeting. So my aunts would get on the party line. I remember the party lines, and they would each add another person and add another person onto the call, and they would start off the conversation with the greeting of the day. It went a little something like this. Habarigani girl. Umoja Habarigani girl. They were so proud of themselves for celebrating the culture. So, creativity, Kuumba, the family talent show arrives. Now, I sang in many choirs. I was terrified of singing in front of my family. Y'all know family can really, as much as you love them, they can tell you all the stuff you don't want to hear too. And so I was terrified. So I chose not to sing. I chose a dramatic reading. Maya Angelou's Phenomenal Woman. Because I was a woman, right? Phenomenally. It was a dud. It was like met with polite hand claps. Oh, baby, that's so nice. Yes, very patronizing. That thing was not what they wanted to see. What they wanted to see was some real performance. So there were skits. There's my little cousin Jonathan, who at the time was about 8 years old. He was at that awkward stage where they have adult teeth, but the baby face doesn't quite fit the teeth, and so it's really kind of awkward. He also was addicted to this one song. I cannot remember the name of it, and I'm grateful for that. The song played for 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and he did the same dance move the whole time. It went a little something like this. We didn't know if he was digging his potatoes to jump into double dutch or pushing a wheelbarrow. He became known as Johnny One Note after that. And then came my cousin Miko and her son Jamal. Jamal's about 6, a little tiny thing. He had on blue jeans, a little white t-shirt. Miko comes out in a house robe and big pink curlers and slippers. And we are thinking, what is going on here? And all of a sudden we hear, hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. And she is sweeping her son away. And he is going, oh woman, don't you be so mean. It was the cutest little thing we ever did see. But there was somebody missing. We were in her house, summoned at her insistence. And Auntie Rosie was nowhere to be found. Now listen, we shouldn't have been too freaked out that she was late for something because she was known for being late. She was also our family baker. She would make the wedding cakes. She would miss the weddings because she had not finished the cake yet. She was trying to get to the reception on time, and so she never got to see anybody actually get there. So we're sitting there. We're in the family room. Now, the family room was attached to the dining room, and it also had this hallway with a little swinging door that led to the other areas of the house. That was the stage, by the way. We were spilled out on chairs and couches and laid out on the floor, just crammed into this room. And we're waiting for the next act. And 2 of my cousins appear in some kind of getup with some wigs. And then we hear the slow strains of Proud Mary by Tina Turner. Ike and Tina Turner. And it turns out my cousins were the Ikeans. And so the song starts real slow. The long version. We're gonna do it for you nice and easy. Not nice and rough. And all of a sudden, through the swinging door appears Auntie Rosie in a getup with fringe all around and spaghetti straps, and she starts to move it. Oh, she is going back and forth and back and forth. Y'all know it. Woo! Kuumba indeed. We fall all over each other. We are laughing till we cry, literally tears streaming down our faces. Could not stop laughing. It is one of my fondest memories of my childhood. It has been way more than 30 years since that night. And a lot has changed. A lot of people who were in that room are now ancestors. And when we gather before libation, we actually speak their names. Johnny One Note, he's a grown man. He's got a family of his own. Miko and Jamal, well, they since moved away. Kind of breaks my heart a little bit. Jamal actually doesn't remember the skip. I mean, he barely has any recollection. They moved away. They've added a husband and a little sister to their family. And Auntie Rosie, she's 82 years old. And she still lives at the Dewdrop Inn. And we still do. We still gather there for big family reunions. Not Christmas, yes, but it's not like it used to be, right? Because a lot of people are gone. Of the 7 siblings, only 3 remain. But when we do gather, all of that love still echoes through that family room. All of that laughter, all that joy still brings us together. And every now and then, we talk about that magical night when Tina paid us a visit, honey. And we laughed, and we loved, and we hoped, and we were just together. And I look forward to being together with them again.